I'm going to put myself in debt and also my mom to get a job at your amazing company. And this is where we're at in 2025. You have to put yourself and also your mother in debt in order to get a job of some sort. If you're a Gen Z like me, I'm 25 by the way, you have probably went and gotten a bachelor's degree believing that this is going to help you get a job that is above minimum wage, and it also help you work something that you don't actually despise. While you were studying, maybe your older friends that were doing their masters convinced you that you should follow their steps and also do a master's degree because this is going to make you more qualified and kind of force employers to pay you more money. So you go and do your master's degree and you also get to postpone adulthood for a little bit. Maybe you work something in the meantime, maybe you don't, completely up to you. And then you're finally ready to enter adulthood. You have finished your academic journey, you have made a LinkedIn post about it, you're very proud of yourself, your entire family is also cheering you on. So congratulations if this is you, because you are in for the most self-esteem destroying experience in your life up until now, probably, which is looking for an entry-level job in 2025, or maybe any job for that matter. I don't know what it looks like for the other guys. Every day turns into the same basic routine. Log on LinkedIn or Indeed or whatever you use, you apply to every position that you see that at least halfway meets your expectations for a job. But what's the worst that could happen technically? The most dramatic thing that can occur if you apply to a job that you might not get is that you might get ghosted, but that happens in your dating life all of the time. What if I told you that it can indeed get worse and jobs right now can even ask you for money? Mark my words, I think this is going to get more and more common. You as a very unsuspecting innocent individual just scrolling through a basic job board like LinkedIn might fall into a similar trap that I almost fell for. However, this specific trap motivated me for something that I'm going to be sharing with you in the second part of the video. This is something that we've been working on for months now, and it could technically lead the way for me to my dream job. And this is why I am very hopeful and excited about this announcement. So stay tuned. We're going to go back in time by a few months. It is now March 2025. I've been looking for a job for maybe 3 months now with no success, of course. I at the time have about 100 subscribers maybe, so YouTube is also not going that very well at the moment. And I stumble upon, for probably the first time, at a job posting that technically matches my dream job. I, for those who are new to the channel, have a bachelor's degree in nutrition sciences and a master's degree in food chemistry. But if I had to go for a dream job and select something to do for a very long period of time, it would be to be a nutritionist and create meal plans for people, help them improve their health and well-being. So this job posting matched exactly that. I found it on LinkedIn. To give you some insight into the job, I could put a screenshot here, but everything's in German, so for any non-German speaking viewers, this is not going to be very helpful. What it essentially said is that this is a remote position. You become a part of a platform with nutritionists where you have to teach the customers the concept that the, let's say, CEOs of the company developed. This is an 8-week concept where you have to help the customers in a WhatsApp group to improve and better their health, their eating habits, and reach their desired goals. Throughout their website and I don't know, other services, they gather clients for you, and then these clients are going to be redirected to you depending on the location that you're in. So this all looked very promising for me, and this definitely ticked all of the boxes that I didn't know even that I had at that time. So I applied for the job, sent over my CV, and waited for a response. On the following day, I received an email from them wanting to schedule a meeting. So that made me very hopeful hopeful, very happy, and we scheduled a Zoom or a Google Meet, I don't remember, for a later time that week. The first meeting went very well. It was a very basic job interview meeting with all of the standard questions that come up every time. The two girls that basically founded the company were also very nice. I felt like we had good vibes in the conversations and they also liked me, and I was also feeling very confident and assured because this is my field of expertise and I did not have any concerns about what they could ask me. Even at the latter part of the conversation, we started talking about if even the next meeting, we wanted to schedule a second meeting, goes well, we would have to figure out how to set up an office in my location because I don't have one, and how that would cost something, but not a lot because it would be like for a few hours, maybe once a week, or how many times per month I would have to see technically the clients that they redirect to me. So you see how we were already speaking as if I was hired for the job, which definitely set my expectations through the roof for the second meeting. I was already imagining myself in the office. This is the life that I had been waiting for so long. I felt like I was finally getting somewhere with my job search. In the meantime, I also looked up their website. It had all of the things that I previously explained to you, the concept, also the price for the coaching program was pretty high in my opinion. I personally would not charge that much for something similar. 687 euros for not a highly personalized meal plan for me is a bit extreme because you're technically using more or less the same concept and applying it to every single customer and telling them all the same things. The two girls that set up the company were born and raised in this country, so they were just looking for a way to expand their business through LinkedIn because they were living in smaller cities in the same country. They were not living in the capital. You can see how after I did all this digging, I found nothing suspicious and just proceeded. The aim of the second meeting was to present to me how the company works, what are my possibilities if I decide to join them, and how we can work together. There were not a lot of negative indicators. Everything was going quite smoothly, but there were two very indicative things that set off an alarm in my head before we got to the last slides. The first one was that you do not have a fixed base salary. It depends on the amount of customers that they redirect to you, how much you are motivated to work, how much you can take on for a single month. According to them, you would get a minimum of 10 customers per month, but I want to mention that they had 4 reviews in total on their website, so them telling me that they are going to ensure that I have at least 10 clients per month is something that I was not fond of believing 100%, and I was asking if there is some kind of a guarantee for a base salary, like am I going to get any money in, let's say, the first or the second month at all. The answer was that I don't need to worry about this at all and that there were going to be clients. The second thing was that I felt like they were overemphasizing that if I had to go and do the marketing to my own website and try to get clients on my own, that would be very difficult and very costly, and I would have to spend around 20,000 euros to start doing this on my own, which in the era of social media I think is a bit of an overestimation of how much that can cost you. I mean, everybody can literally go and create a TikTok account and start talking, and people do this all of the time. Additionally, now that we have website builders like WordPress or Squarespace, yes, they charge something, but this is definitely not going to be 20,000 euros. From what I got before the last slide, they would be making money from my commission. So when I go and charge the customers 687 euros, they would get a proportion of that. I think the proportion was like 100 euros something from that. So you can imagine that maybe if they had some clients of their own and then they got the commission from all of the other nutritionists that they had already acquired in the company, they would be making a decent amount of money depending on how many customers the other nutritionists have. So that's a legit way to set up your business, I guess. Nothing alarming about this. Now we're moving on to the last slide, which is the hot topic of the whole conversation. And for this, I'm going to take out my whiteboard because there was this spreadsheet, but I am not completely sure if I am allowed to show you this because it was from their presentation, and in case they find the video, I do not want to get into any legal matters. So what would it cost you to become a part of this very prosperous emerging company, Clown Nutrition? First of all, you need to get a license to work with them, and this is very pricey. It costs 5,000 euros because it is so valuable to have their name next to your name. It doesn't matter if they have only 4 reviews on their website. Then you have to pay for the 8-week program yourself, like you have to go through it, although you're technically going to be studying how to teach clients this. For me, who already has 2 degrees relating to nutrition, I wouldn't like to have to pay something for a program that is not going to teach me anything. Then we're going to go over to the teaching protocol. So they're giving you probably a PDF or something that tells you how to teach the clients, but that costs 3,000 euros, which again is quite a good price, if I can put it that way. You get the exclusive offer to have your own mentor for 2 days, can you believe, where they're going to mentor you into becoming a part of their team or something. And that costs 6,000 euros. That's 3,000 euros per day for this person. Then there are some other things such as marketing materials and some fatty acid tests. I don't know how much fatty acid tests cost, but the marketing materials were like flyers and all of those personal cards and stuff that were personalized, but I mean, I can create my own in Canva. I don't think that that's gonna cost me 1,900 euros to make and print out. Then academy access. I don't know what that was, but it costs 7,000 euros. Lawyer costs 3,000 euros. And why would I need a lawyer? Their argument was that we would need a lawyer to set up the whole thing because you have to then tell the state that you are self-employed and tell them all about your business and stuff. I figured out how to do this myself for the announcement that I'm about to make later on for free. You even do it online, like I don't even have to go in person to do this. But yeah, 3,000 euros. And marketing campaign, I don't know what do they mean by that. Do they have to put up Instagram ads and stuff? But 5,000 euros that costs. So now in the end they had put up something of the sort of 33,000 euros as a sum of all of those things. But because they are so nice and they are so considerate, they know that you don't have that much money when you're fresh out of university. So they're of course going to make you an offer. And now, oops. Drum roll, you can get all of these very exclusive things right here for the discounted price of 7,800 euros. That's absolutely amazing. I think that's a steal. Wait a minute, they liked me more specifically because, you know, I already had 2 degrees and I also live in the capital of the country. So I am definitely a good asset for them. If I can couch clients here in the big city, I can make them a lot of money. This is why, me personally, I get an even better price than that. I am going to receive this amazing discounted price, and I should be very happy about them being so generous and providing all of this to me for only that much amount of money. Mind you, there were no indications throughout the entire presentation, besides the other red flags that I talked about, that it was going to come to this. So you can imagine how I froze there in disbelief. I guess they could see that I was starting to have some doubts about their whole company, so they tried to convince me that other people are doing this. This is worth it. You definitely should sign up for this. So they told me that another girl that they talked to a few days ago, because they have so many applicants, as you can see, this is a very sought for position. She said that yes, I'm definitely going to do this. I'm going to get half of the money from my mom and the other half I'm going to get from the bank. I'm going to put myself in debt and also my mom to get a job at your amazing company. And this is where we're at in 2025. You have to put yourself and also your mother in debt in order to get a job of some sort. So then we ended the call and I went over to my boyfriend so that he can speak sense to me and help me convince myself that this is not worth the money and I can definitely find something more profitable or even create my own thing which is going to be so much better for me. As you can imagine, I did not pay them the money and send them an email that I'm not going to be going through with their offer. My problem with this whole thing here is not that they are asking for money even. It is the complete lack of transparency about the whole process. First of all, you're advertising this on a job board, which is a place people go to when they need money. And I feel like there is a bit of an unethical aspect to this, for sure. But the bigger problem is that they did not disclose this absolutely anywhere prior to the end of the second meeting. You cannot see this on their website, you cannot see this in the job posting, you do not even get this information in the end of your first meeting with them. So they're basically wasting your time for 2 meetings, and this is the one thing that really bothered me. I did not really expect this to come from women in the first place, and the second thing is I did not expect this from people from this nationality in this country that I live in right now. I would definitely suspect something similar if I was back home in my Balkan country. This is a much more attractive field for scammers. The good thing that came out of all of this is that it inspired me to create something similar of my own. So today I am announcing the launch of my personal website. You can go over there. I'll be putting the link down in the description box below. It is also linked in my channel description. And over there you can find some extra resources from me. You can find blog articles, which is essentially compressed information from my YouTube videos. You can also find recipes over there that are examples for healthy and balanced meals and usually are very simple, quick and easy to make, since I also do not enjoy overcomplicating my life with things that would take me 4 or 5 hours to make. On the resources tab you can find my skin anti-aging guide, which was something that was requested in a previous video of mine because a lot of people found that it is kind of hard to follow through the video and take notes for everything. So the information from that video has now been set up in a guide that you can download as a PDF for free. You do not have to sign up even for a newsletter or anything. You just go over there and read it. And the most exciting part is definitely the offer section, where I have put up my meal planning or coaching, depending on what you choose, offers. In all of the cases you would have to fill out a quite detailed form where you tell me about your eating habits and also your lifestyle habits, so I can have a better picture of your life. The first option that you have is to just pick a nutrition check-in, where I tell you based on the information where can you improve and why do I believe you're not reaching your desired goals. You can also ask me all of the questions that you might have because I'm probably not covering every single topic on this channel that interests you. The second offer is a 2-week meal plan based on the information that you have provided me. Of course, I am probably going to check in with you if I have some questions while I'm creating the meal plan. Usually some questions arise in the process as to, do you like a savory or a sweet breakfast? Are you into this and that type of food? And the third option is a 4-week meal plan, which is an extension of the 2-week meal plan. It just gives you structure for a longer time. I hope that you find something on the website that resonates with you, whether that would be a recipe, a blog article, or maybe you even want to work with me. I would be very excited to hear from you in that way. Additionally, if you find out that there is a bug or something doesn't work, please either write me through the contact form in the website or leave down in a comment in the description what doesn't work, it needs to be fixed. Since it is still a newly developed website, there might be some problems coming up. I am really hopeful about this since, as I already said 100 times, this is technically what I enjoy doing the most most. Of course, I love creating content and I will continue to do that, maybe with a bit of a slower pace if I have a lot of customers, but right now it will probably be the same pace in the beginning. But helping out people in this different kind of way is definitely something that I'm looking forward to. Creating content is also more of a hobby, to be honest, not only free advertising, since I technically have always wanted to do this. I've been watching YouTube since 2012, I think. I mean, I've been here for the T-series drama, I've been here for the Bi Sister drama, so it has been quite a long time in the space, but most of the time as an observer and not really a content creator. And since we're talking about YouTube, I want to complain. I got demonetized a month ago, probably. It was the 11th of September when I got this email from YouTube that they disabled AdSense for my channel for allegedly it being related to a disabled account, which is not true. My hot take here is that this was an AI bot that YouTube has implemented that did not do its job well, and now I was demonetized for nothing. I do not have any channel that has ever been disabled. I have this as my main channel, and I also have my second channel in Bulgarian, which has not been updated for months. There are like 3 videos on there, and I have like 28 subscribers. It also does not have any type of controversial content. It's the same content that I post on this channel, it's just in Bulgarian. So I don't see where's the ground of this statement in the email that they sent me. Not that I was making huge amounts of money on the channel, obviously you can see my subscriber count, but imagine if I was a bigger channel and I had to pay scripters, editors, I don't know, and all of a sudden your money is just being cut off. On top of all of that, they're not really replying to me. I sent an appeal the day after this happened, and this appeal has been under review for more than a month now. I also wrote to them on X, I wrote to the YouTube support, and I have not received any adequate help in the process, which is starting to get very annoying, especially considering that all of this was completely uncalled for and does not have any actual grounds to base this demonetization on. I don't see how, even when I show my face in all of my videos and it's more or less obvious that it is me, why would I have a disabled account and then create a second account where I show my face again? Of course they're gonna find me. Even if you think about it logically, why would anybody even do that? It would make more sense if I was a faceless channel. I'm still creating content. I have not given up on the channel just because of this inconvenience, but it is just something that I would really love it if it is resolved and done for, because I do not like it when things just kind of hang in there and I've been waiting for a response for so long. I think that's about it for the video. It's a lot different from my usual content. Thank you very much for being here with me today. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and also check out the website. Let me know down in the comments below if you would like me to do a video on a specific topic next time. Thank you again for being here with me, and I will see you in the next one.